So hello everyone, welcome here to round number 7. Cut that. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I had it right. Hello everyone, welcome here to round number 7 of the NASA RallyCross Challenge in 2018A. We're back in Lakewood, Colorado, getting ready for this round of the championship. We are a little bit subdued, and unfortunately, not as severe as last season, though. Unfortunately, we do have an event to talk about going into today's race. As 4-time champion, 13-time race winner Dylan Livingood severely injured in a non-racing related incident at his day job at a storage facility right near here, actually, in Littleton, Colorado. The Canadian suffered head injuries, whiplash, a whole bunch of nasty stuff at that day job. We're going to spare you the details, but nothing bad. It's just not life-threatening, rather. But car number 51, he's here, but he's not going to be on track for the rest of the season, and it certainly will be a bummer to see. 6 cars are getting ready to take part as we're gridding up for the first quarterfinal. 6 laps, Joker once. Then the semifinal, 4 laps, Joker once. Final will be 8 laps, Joker twice. Everyone will transfer.
Gonna go right down the gutter.
2 back up.
Hey, hoy.
How many semifinals are there gonna be?
1.
Juan. Just Juan.
So there's gonna be one person who doesn't get points today. From a semi or a quarter.
Yep.
Jake.
It's gonna be Jake.
I'm sorry, Jake.
Revolution
Racing.
Racing.
Championship's gonna go right down the gutter.
2 back up.
23
good.
perfects for a row.
Oh, there's a grid. I'm slow. Okay, you slide forward here. I forgot about that.
Alright, boys.
No,
6
you're
laps,
done.
Joker once. Getting ready for the first quarterfinal. It's a 2-horse race between Kraus and Wetz. Green flag. Wetz will lead us into turn number 1. And a much more calmer race, because we only have 5 cars that are going to be on track today. As we are missing Livingood, obviously, Casey Lester. Noah Carmichael actually was supposed to be in this race. We were supposed to have 2 3-car quarterfinals, but car number 76 in the pit lane. They're trying to get the car fired, and I believe, obviously, he will miss this quarterfinal. Wetz leads.
End of 1:23.
At
Joker's
the
lap.
end of the first lap. Kraus Jokers in the red-plated car number 2 for Red Bull Subaru MRT. So this will be interesting to see this specific Delta and the Joker rotation. As we know that Kraus in the title fight with his teammate, it was 4 points, it's now 8 points. Then it went back down to 5 points last week in Aspen, so no more than 8 points so far this season. But whenever Mertz can get a little bit of a gap back, his teammate claws it back. Wetz still leads at the end of the second lap.
End of 2:23.
So car number 23, 41.588, he will immediately Joker. In car number 23, we're going to go on board car number 1, Philip Kraus. Car number 2, sorry, Philip Kraus. And Wetz is going to hold this Delta. So now it's going to be a battle between them evenly on the road. And you know Kraus wants to technically lower that, or raise that, points gap to 7 points, tentatively. But it's going to be difficult to get by Chris Wetz. We saw last season when there was that red flag in the middle of the race. Chris Wetz was essentially, he wasn't slow, so he's not really a true moving roadblock, but certainly was a fast car and very hard to get by. Very, very difficult track to get passing done as well, because there's a lot of sweeping sections and it's very difficult to get by unless you can totally outbrake someone. Cross flags for Wetz. Kraus holds second, the only other spot on the track. It has been a battle between these guys. Remember, Carmichael not on the track. Wetz holds the lead. Kraus is getting close. Kraus looks like he's faster in the Subaru, and this is obviously, like last week, becoming a main storyline. The MRT teammates still spending money. The team's still developing this car, pushing hard. But Wetz holds this spot, 41.053 to a 41.7. Kraus is 0.7 of a second faster than the Mitsubishi. He just needs to find a way around him, because the old myth in racing, the old saying rather, as Wetz doors Kraus, catching him is one thing, passing him is another. On the outside is Kraus, through the S's, pinches into the curb for the moment, and Kraus is going to take the lead. What a move. Wetz tries to take the fight back on the outside. Will he get the run into the final couple of corners? On the outside is Wetz. He had a huge run, but he couldn't make it happen as Kraus pushed him off the track. Wetz the inside, trying to take the fight to him. He got a good run off the final corner, but I think Kraus had it.
End of 5, 2, white flag.
White flag for Philip Kraus. 42.3 to a 43 flat. Another 0.7 of a second out of it. And Kraus, I think, is going to have this race. But we know the MRT boys, the MRT team rather, it's not the drivers, it's the team, spending the money for the development to try and get these cars as fast as they can, as they are neck and neck in a championship fight. And normally, you see teammates, they'll work with one another, whatever it might have you. But these guys, for the last season and a half, it's two completely different teams. Kraus wins the first quarterfinal, followed by Wetz.
Checkered flag, 2 wins, quarterfinal 1. 23 after blowing third gear comes home in second.
All the time you have to leave the state. That was a good race.
Huh? Okay. Everybody need have the replay or anything?
Mm-hmm.
1:24:42.
Oh, my ping's higher now. Gee, I wonder why. Here we are on board with Josh Mertz here. Where's, Jay Kraus?
Oh, there. Said a mess. Oh, shit.
24.
10-4.
End of one lead. You're good. 24, pull up. You're good, good. Back up a little bit. A little smidge. Okay, you're good. Hold the brake, because otherwise you're going to slide down the hill. 42, pull up a little bit. You're good. 6 laps, Joker once. Do I need to do the text?
Got it.
Second quarterfinal in Lakewood. Mertz, Valley, Jacob Kraus. Green flag. We remember Valley was disqualified from the Canyon City Grand Prix. Was not here last week in Aspen. But he has returned to NASA Rallycross competition. Was given 10th place points last week.
Try not to roll too much off the grid though when you're revving.
Put him back in contention for the Privateer Championship. If we look at the standings, that technically had him finish 4th in the Privateer Cup. He had an 18-point lead in that championship, leaving Milwaukee. He got disqualified in Negus, 4th place points in Aspen. The championship has swayed to Noah Carmichael with 2 points, and Carmichael's not here. So interestingly,
End of one leads. Jokers are allowed.
Carmichael is here, I apologize, not in this race, I rather mean. So, everybody jokers on the second lap of the race, so really there's no strategy. Looks like Jacob Kraus tried to change his mind and plowed it into the wall. But The blue plate is held by Noah Carmichael today in Lakewood. But he's been struggling with his car. So Valley and him are going to be battling. Remember the former teammates. Valley and him are going to be battling for this Privateer Cup for the last half of this championship. Because the reason why is the Privateer Cup was so topsy-turvy at the first half of the championship, Valley was going to win the first 5 races in Privateers this season. But because of the antics that he had last 2 weeks ago, in Canyon City, spoiled all that. Is this guy on screen for the Drivers' Championship, trying to get the quarterfinal victory, as his teammate won the first quarterfinal, and he's trying to win the second quarterfinal. Remember, there's a couple laps to go. We're not going to speak too soon, but the Privateer Cup really is the battle for today's race, as that championship is heating up here in Lakewood.
3 1 leads.
45.277 cross flags for Mertz. He then resets it at a 41 flat. Looks like Valley had an issue exiting the final corner. So per the regulations, he's allowed to rejoin exiting the pit lane there. Not a live pit lane in NASA Rallycross unless it's a red flag. Looks like Mertz slides it in the 1. Not sure if that's going to hinder him at all. But as both of the top 2 make a mistake in the quarterfinal, it's all going to be down to
Watch the track limits. 24.
not making another. Coming at 2 to go in Lakewood. Now remember, the cars that do not transfer automatically through this race do go to the semifinal,
The 1 leads.
which they do get 2 bonus points. So hopefully we'll see Noah Carmichael in the semifinal in just a couple minutes. I see the East Coast Autosport crew in the garage behind the pit gantries, frantically working on that Honda Civic. If we pay attention to Jacob Kraus in car number 42 while we have a moment, 3rd, 4th, 2nd,
Okay.
2nd, 2nd, 3rd. Looks like Mertz contact with Valley.
Oh, that was interesting.
So Kraus
I did
struggling
exactly what you did there, Josh, but you were there.
in the Privateer Cup.
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know.
5 1 leads white flag.
And these two,
Boys have at it.
while they have had some issues in the past, they do have respect for one another. Especially NASA Rallycross. As crazy as that sounds, they do have respect for each other off the track. They are 2 good friends. Valley considers Mertz one of his best friends. Just when you put the helmets on these guys, they really just start to hate each other. So they made contact.
Tire wear because I lost grip at the top of the hill twice in a row.
I think that's just the temps, probably.
And concerns for tire wear between the MRT teammates over the scanner.
Watch track limits, but
I was gonna
Mertz
say,
is going to win the
I
quarterfinal.
was gonna say I'm trying to
checkered
save
flag.
it. Good
Numeral
win,
uno
Josh.
wins. 24
Valley and Kraus to
second
the semi.
And 42 is not there yet.
Eventually.
Not there yet. Come on, Jake, you can do it.
Eventually.
Fuck off, you guys.
Can we hurry
All right.
up? I'm running out of time cards.
Cross the line. The 42 takes
Yay!
3rd place. Let's let him a
42.
psychological advantage get to him.
Hey. Okay.
23 back up.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna back up a little bit further on the grid so my car doesn't roll.
Just hold the brake when you're revving.
It's kind of hard to because I rev first.
Alright,
Oh,
4 laps, Joker once.
good luck, drivers.
Top 2 get a bonus point.
Carmichael's still not here for the semifinal. Hopefully we'll see him in a moment
Darts
in the
good.
final.
Wes gets the whole shot.
It's going to be Wetz,
The
Valley,
go bowling hole shot.
and Kraus. Down to turn number 1. Wetz leads Valley. As Valley tries to take the fight on Wetz. So the Revolution Racing, the sole Revolution Racing car in today's race, trying to give the fans something to cheer about. as Valley in second, holding that bonus point. And into the final corners.
1:23, Jokers allowed.
A little bit of a satellite issue there.
End of 1:23, Jokers allowed.
And Wets, I think, is just going to cruise for this semifinal win. As you know that Valley and Kraus are a little bit down on pace. And just trying to make it through the final. It's a very strange race here in the Proving Grounds, very subdued. Not even because of the incident with Living Good outside of NASA RallyCross, but just the subdued nature of the championship right now, and the car count struggling. We only have the 6 cars here, and the only 5 that looks like will participate in today's race, but hopes that the East Coast Autosport team can fix up that 76. 2 laps to go.
End of 2, crossed flags, 23 lanes.
As the man who finished 3rd in last season's championship looks destined, if we're looking at points right now, Carmichael's missed a huge part of the middle part of the season. Valgenswaard, Canada, Milwaukee, Canyon City. With Living Good being out for the rest of the championship, it really is going to solidify Wets as the best of the rest in the championship. And it's really been that way for the last couple seasons, as Erdman is not here, Lambert is not here. They weren't here last week in Aspen, so a big concern is they're not going to be here for the last half of this championship.
White flag, 23 lanes.
And the big concern with that is Lambert and Erdman are some fast guys. And if they're not going to be here, that's just going to give MRT more fuel for the fire. And that solidifies Wets as 3rd place in points. Essentially, yeah, we have 4 races left, but we're looking at points. That really is going to matter because Carmichael, like I said, Lester's missed a couple races. He's not even here today. Kraus has been here pretty much all season, but certainly off pace. And Valley had those couple disqualifications earlier in the championship. So Lambert, Erdman, and Berg. Remember, Berg ran in Great Britain and did not appear for the rest of the season.
Checkered flag, 23. Bonus point to the 24.
And the 42 coming down to the final corner here at Proving Grounds North.
Final time
Onto the
in
grass.
Lakewood.
Flying through the air, this ain't good, and he spins in the final corner. Coming up to the line, Jacob Kraus will take 3rd in the semifinal at Proving Grounds North. Looks like he might need to whip out the rust bucket. He's having a lot of damage to that car after the race.
Whenever we're ready, I have everything, and let me know. Wish. Good luck, gents.
It looks like Honda finally figured out how to tune an engine.
You guys have Subarus now.
No. We're hiding the Honda engine underneath.
I'm not at the beach. Oh, but
Oh my god, stop. That was a bad meme.
that was a great meme because I was losing my shit at 5 in the morning because of it.
That doesn't make it a good meme. That just means you were sleep drunk.
Let's go.
Where's feedback on R is so weird.
Alright, 2 you're good, I'm good. 23 you're good. Pull up
Are
a
we
switch,
gonna hold
23.
in spot on the grid, or is it okay if we roll?
I'd rather you
Okay,
brake and rev.
sounds like a plan, Stan.
Alright, I know it's a little disappointing tonight, but hopefully we'll be able to rebound for next week. 8 laps.
Yeah, 8
Joker
cars.
twice. I wish. Good luck, gents.
MRT teammates Wets, Jacob Kraus, and Valley. Carmichael could not get the car fixed in time, so we only have 5 cars getting ready in Lakewood. Green flag. Off the line, the MRT teammates, like usual for the past season and a half, will lead us into turn number 1. It looks like Kraus is going to have the advantage over his teammate into turn number 1. He does. He held the lead. I thought Mertz was going to have a good run. Jacob Kraus is in 3rd. Valley 4th. Wets 5th. This is actually a blast from the past, because if you are a fan of NASA RallyCross from the original season, you'd remember that we used to have 5-car finals. So this is a lot like the way it used to be. Kraus runs it wide. Jacob Kraus, that is, gets passed by Valley, and then Wets passes him, so put him to 5th. But this is going to be the battle. This is going to be the battle. Kraus leads at the end of the first lap. Let's see who will joker between the teammates. Mertz pushing hard, slams it off the wall in the 1. And everybody else jokers. So their strategies are completed. Remember, the joker here is a shorter lap, or longer lap, sorry. So if miraculously something goes wrong here, Valley is going to be the beneficiary, as I do believe. No, it's Wetz, sorry. Wetz is leading that brigade. Then it's Valley and Jacob Kraus. But Philip Kraus is pulling away from his teammate. Pulling away is car number 2 over car number 1 as we end the second lap. 41.708 to a 41.781. Those were Kraus's last 2 laps. Mertz jokers in the 1. So very consistent is Philip Kraus. We know he's consistent. No joker strategy as Wetz's strategy's out. Very strange for him to joker in the first 2 laps of the event. But Mertz did not have an issue with exiting the joker. And Philip Kraus, we're going to see if he can make this 3 consistent lap times in a row, because if he can, that's going to be amazing, and that'll tell you that he's going to have the pace over his teammate today.
And free too.
Ending the 3rd lap. Let's see what Philip Kraus's lap is this time. 41.5, so even quicker than his teammate, who with the joker ran a 45.6, and Kraus did not joker now. So we're going to see, will Mertz joker again? He will, so his strategy is out of the equation. Where is Valley? Valley completes his strategy. Wetz is already done, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to Mertz, but he'll battle Valley, it looks like, for the 3rd spot, and put the American from Texas ahead of the American from Indiana. Jacob Kraus from Wisconsin in the 5th spot. As Philip Kraus trying to get another victory in the NASA RallyCross Challenge.
And 4-2.
Cross flags.
As he takes cross flags in Lakewood, and he begins to joker now. So 42 flat to a 45.6. So Mertz ran a 45.6 his 2 joker laps. We're not going to expect him to overhaul his teammate this joker lap. We'll have to wait for his teammate's 2nd joker, but we're going to pay attention to the lap time game with Philip Kraus, because if he can run it faster than a 45.6, this is his race. Unless his teammate's quicker than him on the joker rotation, and the delta and the numbers work out, I think this is going to be Phil's race.
I was trying to get out of your way.
It looks like Valley has blown a couple gears in the 24. 3 to go for Kraus.
And a 5-2.
As Jacob Kraus still struggling. Valley with blown gears. Wetz in 3rd, Mertz 2nd. Kraus did not joker on lap number 6. 45.681 to a 41.2. Mertz is the fastest man on the circuit by 0.3 of a second. 0.2 of a second, sorry, over his teammate. So this is potentially going to come down to this last couple laps when Kraus jokers. I think that's going to be the key. That's the gap between the teammates that you saw on screen through the chicane. Into the final couple of corners. Kraus still leads.
End of 6, numero dos.
2 to go, 41.205, resetting the fastest lap. 41.666 for Mertz. Kraus jokers in the 2. Where is his teammate? Exiting the joker is Kraus. No contest between the teammates. And I think Kraus just had a better run in the opening section of this race when Mertz jokered, because I think Mertz was slower on his joker laps. Remember, 45.6 was Mertz's joker. We're going to see on the timing and scoring when he hits the line to begin the white flag lap what Kraus's run. If he runs a 45.6 or faster, you know that it's his race. 1 lap to go, white flag in Lakewood, and it was a 45.2.
White flag.
0.4 of a second faster was Kraus over Mertz. Trying to get win number 11 in NASA RallyCross, inching closer and closer to become the winningest Canadian in the series. He's got a couple race wins left to tie Living Good. If Kraus can seal this deal, it's going to be 5 1-2 finishes for MRT this season, and the count will be 3-2, and Mertz loops it, so it's sealed. 5 1-2 finishes for the squad this season so far. Kraus wins in Lakewood.
Checkered flag, numero dos.
Mertz brings it home second, disappointed in car number 1. Wetz loops it and is going to put it in reverse, past the start-finish line, finishing third.
23 third.
Valley fourth, Kraus fifth, Carmichael in sixth.
24 fourth.
Yeah, mine.
So what a race here in Lakewood, even as we only had 5 cars. And next week in Daytona for the first time at the Daytona International Speedway. The championship coming down to the wire with 3 rounds left to play, and it certainly should be an incredible fight. As we hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Automotive Sports Network. That was terrible. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage on NASA Rallycross here on the Automotive Sports Network, and we say goodbye to the NASA Proving Grounds courses here in Lakewood. We go to Daytona, which is kind of a preview because we're running there next season, but it certainly should be a great race. Congratulations to Philip Kraus, and we hope to see you next week in Daytona. Until then, so long, everyone.